Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 317.
317.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. This is such a great time to travel to Walt Disney World coming up. It is now July. Next month is not only Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, which is going to have some changes, and we're going to talk about those later. But also, you have Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, the Epcot Food and Wine Festival, and then all that's coming is, there's so much, plus the end of Illuminations and the beginning of Epcot Forever. That's in September.
So much going on. I would book right now.
You know what? I actually, if I didn't live here, I would be coming probably for that end of September time frame when so much is happening.
So we're going to start at the Magic Kingdom. It was another beautiful summer day.
And I've just been so looking forward to getting back into the parks more often because 4 weeks ago, Friday, I had my surgery. And I really have only been in the parks now, 4 times or something. So an average of like once a week, although we did go to Coronado Springs. But right here, we are heading into Tomorrowland, and there is no sign right now.
Yeah, you just saw a photo of the old Tomorrowland sign, and I guess right here is where the new sign will be. So it was kind of interesting to see it in its signless way going back into the 70s and 80s. I remember growing up, there never was a sign in that particular area. And I like this view. Here's a nice view looking down from the People Mover, showing that it's a nice open entrance to Tomorrowland.
And I know that I've talked a lot about everything that's coming to Walt Disney World. There's a lot going on here as far as construction, like not just like the sign, but a lot else. Some of it we'll talk about later. And here we are at the Skipper Canteen. We hadn't been here since around the time it opened, I guess. I thought we had come here twice, but maybe we've only been here once.
And we are lucky. We're going into the special back room here, and you can see all these books. Our server said that it is fully booked in here. Very funny. Jungle Cruise humor.
I think this is I don't know if they call it the SEA room, but this is where we dined before. We were only like one table away from where we had been last time.
I love this room. To me, this is my favorite place, and I would have probably requested to be in here. And you mentioned SEA, that is the Society of Explorers and Adventurers. And I'll link to the last show because we talked all about, I showed some history and we explained everything about that. So no need to go into it again, but it is my favorite room.
The funny thing is we've either been here once or twice, but not in several years. And it's so funny how I remember so much of it. I mean, it really is like embedded in my brain, maybe because it's just such a beautiful restaurant. But this is the menu, and some items are the same. I think a lot has changed since we've been here, though, but the Falls Family Falafel, that is still here. And that was around the time that I had falafel for the first time, and I really like that.
One thing that they do not have is the head-on shrimp, which I really liked. It reminded me of what we get when we go to Paris. The shrimp there is always head-on.
Yeah, I don't know if that's an American thing as much. I don't eat shrimp, but a lot of places don't have the head on.
And this is a huge improvement. Last time when we reviewed it in the show, I mentioned that they didn't really have a good selection of beers. They only had 3 beers, and they were all sort of beers you can get anywhere. And here you had a much nicer selection. And there is Trader Sam. He will trade 2 of his heads, 3 of his heads for one of yours.
So here is our drinks, and I had an unsweetened iced tea, but I also had a house-made sangria.
And that is a Congaloosh beer, and I think that I first had that at the Nomad Lounge over at Disney's Animal Kingdom, and I loved it. It was a really nice, spicy beer, and there's your sangria.
Yeah, I mean, the sangria, lately I've been having it, at various places. It's not very different than what you can get in a lot of other restaurants, but it was a hot day, so it was really a nice, refreshing drink. And then the Falls Family Falafel. I really like falafel now. I wish I didn't wait till I was like almost, in my 40s at least to have it. But that is it's falafel,
We joined the Clean Plate Club after this because there was nothing one drop left.
No, there was nothing left on the plate. So this is I think this is a coconut curry butternut squash soup. And if you've ever been to Boma, that's what it reminds me of, is having soup at Boma, because Boma makes my very favorite soups, very creamy, and really nice flavor.
And here we have something a little different, Old Elephant Foot IPA. Nice, strong little beer, something very different. And wouldn't you know, I've never seen or heard of this before, and it was great. But then later on in the day, I saw it in the Polynesian. You could just grab one for like $10.
Old elephant foot. It doesn't sound delicious.
Beer has
but
never sounded better.
I don't drink beer. So this is our steak. We split it, which I'm glad about because it's really a good sized steak. And it is a New York strip called the Dr. Falls Grilled Signature Steak. Not the best steak I've ever had on Disney property. I don't really normally I would not get a New York strip. If I was coming here normally to more often, I'd probably get a couple of appetizers. But it was still, it was a good size. It's $36 for the steak, and I thought it was good.
I liked it. I actually thought it was very good too. Not a lot of fat, which is always a big plus. And here's our dessert.
And this is called the quicksand dessert with jasmine rice pudding, lemon curd, mango, I believe some pineapple. And honestly, for $8, I don't think it's the best value. I thought it was a nice dessert. This is the only one that isn't cake. So I thought it would be nice to try something different. It is very pretty.
Yeah, I'm glad we tried it. I don't think I would get it again either. Mm-hmm. It was my least favorite item that we had to eat.
Well, I mean, it was still good. It was just, is it $8 good? We can get a big cupcake for that, or something a little fancier.
Could have gotten something in the park, some little treat.
So I probably would have done that. And now we are heading, I guess we're heading out.
We're going to head out. But anyway, it was nice to be back. I'm glad we got to check out this Skipper Canteen once again. And now we're going to keep in the jungle theme. We're heading to Disney's Animal Kingdom.
We were invited to a media event with Disney. And really it was all about kind of experiencing Lion King at Disney's Animal Kingdom Park, because there's quite a bit actually. Some of it is here all the time and some of it is not here all the time. We didn't do Festival of the Lion King on this day.
But it's not changed. We've seen it. It's the
many
same
times.
show.
Right. So you went on I cannot go right now on the Kilimanjaro Safaris, but you did. And I don't know if anybody knows this, but the Lion King, the new Lion King, actually came to Disney's Animal Kingdom, the filmmakers, and they studied lions. You are not looking at all the lions, but there are...
We're looking at some wild dogs.
Yes.
We're just looking at an overview of some of the animals that you can see on the safari. And I think it's very interesting. And this is something, even the last time you have been on it, you'll notice that they have added lots of references to Disney's Lion King.
Mm-hmm. I think these are the wild painted dogs, and they've been there for like a couple of years now. I've never really seen them out running like that, so that's very cool.
That's because it was very early. First safari of the day.
Yeah, well, yeah, like, 8 a.m. or something.
Yeah, elephant on the move.
So, there's like a Lion King spiel now. I don't know if they're going to keep that, or it might just be for the summer, like other Lion King. Everything seems to kind of end at certain times, but not everything together.
Well, the Lion King references have started, though, in advance, because last time we went on the ride a couple weeks ago, maybe even a month ago.
It was Memorial Day weekend,
wow.
So it was 2 months ago. It was 2 months ago that they started that.
So it's certainly not new, but they do mention the Lion King quite often, and I will link to the video. I have a video of the entire safari, 20-minute safari, one of the best safaris I've done. It really took his time, lots of times to see the animals. I think this is a white rhino, which I think some other white rhinos got in the way of our truck for a little while.
Yeah,
there they are. We had to kind of wait them out. It's
been a while since I've taken a safari where animals just kind of hung out in front of. I've had that happen with giraffes in the past. I mean, we've both been going to Disney's Animal Kingdom since the beginning, mm-hmm. So it happens sometimes, and here is one of the sleeping lions.
Just lying around.
Yes, and again, filmmakers from Lion King, the new one, came here, and they studied these lions, which is really cool. So I just thought that was pretty awesome.
And sadly, one of the things we learned is the lion population has diminished by half since the Lion King film came out 25 years ago.
Right, and so Disney has initiatives to help protect the pride, which I think is really nice. But we also just saw warthogs.
Oh yes, and they mentioned, just like in Disney's The Lion King, the warthogs.
Mm-hmm. So if you look online for Protect the Pride, you can find out different ways you can help save the lion population. Disney wants to double it, probably to get it back to where it was 25 years ago, and they want to do that by 2050.
So now we're off to Rafiki's Planet Watch.
So Rafiki's Planet Watch and the conservation station are open again, which I am very happy about because I love to go here.
And the goats. You get to see the goats.
That's what I love. but there's an all-new animation experience, so that's what we're going to be talking about. But we're also going to talk about the goats because I went and visited them as well.
And of course, Lion King references on the train ride. I was just happy to be on the train again. Not a lot of trains are running at Walt Disney World right now.
It's been many months since we've done that, and this is okay. Again, the animation experience. I believe this is on FastPass, so check for that. And then you can come out here, and it's sort of like the drawing classes, except that you have a board on your lap as opposed to like a table or a desk or somewhere to put your board beside your lap.
Well, it's a very, very comfortable experience. It's delightfully air conditioned in there, and I think they did a great job with setting it all up.
Well, I like that they have, Frank and Ollie. I mean, they're really showing the history of animation. And so our group we filled like almost all the seats here, and we drew Simba.
Mm-hmm.
Young Simba. I don't believe that it will always be Lion King. I think until the Lion King opened, it was always going to be Lion King, and now it probably will change.
And it's very nice to see this animation class back. I know they've had it somewhat recently, at the Epcot International Festival of the Arts.
Right. So it used to be at Disney Quest, and it used to be at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So they keep resurrecting the animation experience because I think it's really popular.
And look at this. I actually learned how to draw young Simba. There is my my picture, my finished product.
And I had one too, and I will not remember all the steps that I did, but you know what? It's nice because you get to take a souvenir home as well, and I always like experiences. And outside, you've got a bird here. I don't know what kind of bird it is, but he didn't want to do anything but like put his head to the side. So we were on our way outside. I wanted to go to the petting zoo.
And Denise has got her head sideways while she's watching and talking.
It makes me laugh.
I wish people could see the visual sometimes, the hands going, the head turning. But this is something that you were looking forward to, and you spent a good amount of time in there. I think I see you way in the back waiting to meet one of the goats.
Well, I didn't have to wait because the goats really wanted to be petted. I mean, there's probably some that don't, but the one that saw me came right to the fence, and he made himself available totally so that I could pet his whole back.
And Denise is showing with her hands
Yes.
exactly how he was standing.
I said online, the goat chooses you. Just like just like Harry Potter, the wand chooses you, well, the goat here chooses you. They really want attention. So go visit them if you have a chance.
Yes, they're really cute, and it's
I can't
really
wait to
nice.
go back there.
And there's also a number of Lion King inspired backdrops, and they also will do a magic shot, which we have taken, but I didn't think to put it in here. But I did put our shot like this, where they have us just do funny lion-like faces with the backdrop.
And I think they might have other magic shots around the park. We don't always do PhotoPass, but I believe that there might be a couple more. So anyway, this was cute. You could see how humid it was on my hair. Now, Kevin is still here, and I'm so glad that Kevin has, lasted for a number of months now at Disney's Animal Kingdom Park, and I hope she, continues.
Well, it's very casual, you're just walking around a corner, and there's Kevin. It's how awesome. And every time, not one time do I see her, and I'm not amazed.
I think it feels almost like a surprise and delight because a lot of guests will have no idea that she's walking around, and then they get to see her, and everybody just stops and takes pictures, and it's not a meet and greet. She's just a walk around, but sometimes guests are able to get photos not only of her but with her.
Yeah, if you ask her handlers nicely, she will usually stop and take a picture, especially if you're a cute little kid.
Unless you're going somewhere, maybe. But she is so fun. And this is Trilobites. We went to try the Bugs and Grubs ice cream cone because again, Lion King themed. And it's a chocolate soft serve, and then you've got bugs in it. So,
but there are gummy bugs and chocolate bugs.
They're good.
This was great. I would get this again just for myself. We split this one because we are about to have a early lunch. But if I wasn't having lunch, I can do some good work with one of these.
Well, you have to do it quickly because it was so hot out.
Yes, it melts very quickly in the Florida sun.
Yeah. So, if you're taking pictures for like a couple minutes, it's like, oh my gosh, it's going down. So Hakuna Matata time. I've read online and I've seen it where it says this will end on September 30th. I don't know if that's still the case or not, but it may be. This is, to me, one of the cuter dance parties. I like the music. I like the different characters. it's not just Lion King characters. They have Coda from Brother Bear, and then there's Miko. So there's a variety of different characters, and they have like 2 different sets.
And let's not forget the band. The band is fantastic, and I always prefer live entertainment over a DJ. So it's very nice to see that.
And I just want to mention, I said 2 sets. It's sort of like, well, we see Timon and Baloo, and we'll probably see them again later. But now we see Coda. And I think Miko was out with him, and I thought I saw Rafiki also.
And often Kevin will make a surprise appearance because that's where she enters and exits from her walks. And sometimes the characters from Up will walk by, and when they do, they interact with the dance party. So a lot of fun in this area if you like characters.
Oh, I totally agree. It's just such a... Again, if you're coming before September 30th, it's really a great little party to hang out at. So here is the Tree of Life. We are celebrating still the Lion King, and I just want to mention there is a new experience called Circle of Flavors Harambe at Night, which starts today and runs Wednesdays through October 23rd, and I think that sounds terrific. I think it's $125. I didn't have the price in front of me, but it's like a progressive dining event, and yeah. I just think it looks fantastic.
Something for us to investigate in the future weeks. Now we are at Epcot, and look at this beautiful fountain. We're going to savor the fountain a little bit longer. It will be leaving, sadly, within a couple months, maybe less than 2 months.
I have no idea on the fountain. There are so many different aspects of this area that are going to go away, including Electric Umbrella, Starbucks, and Club Cool, and Character Spot. And not all of them are leaving at the same time. And there are some that we know the last day, I believe, on Club Cool is September 7th. So that's one of the earlier ones.
Well, speaking of Club Cool, we decided to take a walk inside and look around while we could. It was not too busy of a day, and I know it's going to get very, very popular as it gets closer to its closing. So we're just looking at some of the decor, and I think it's very nice that they've themed it of a soda type theme with the bubbles. You're seeing especially I think we're going to pan up and you'll see all the soda bubbles hanging down from the wall. So I think they did a very nice job. I really like this. I have so many great memories, even back when it was Ice Station Cool.
Well, Ice Station Cool was really awesome because it was cold and you had the cavemen, and that was my favorite. That was my favorite.
What a perfect table to enjoy an ice cold chilled Beverly. But the saddest thing of all, sold out of Beverly. No Beverly. I sure hope they get some back in before this closes for good.
Well, supposedly the Coke store at Disney Springs still has it, so you can buy it.
Well, I will absolutely do that, especially if this goes away for good. You will see me much more often at the Coke store.
It sounds like this experience will still be part of Epcot in the future, and I don't know if it will be right away. It might be months down the road or more, so expect that.
So this was unexpected, a very, very unexpected surprise by Belle in her ball gown there. She's a little overdressed for the area, if you ask me.
That's what some of the people on my Instagram said.
Oh, I commented on her little hidden Mickey with the roses there. Even she was surprised. She didn't realize it. And I don't even know if it really is one, but to me it looks like one.
It does look like that. So Belle, you never know who might be out by the Imagination Pavilion. It's not like there's somebody out all the time. There isn't. But there are, every so often you'll see various characters out here.
Yeah, it was very nice, a very nice meet and greet with Belle. And again, complete surprise, the last person I expected to see. And look at this, we already have food and wine booths starting to pop up around World Showcase. And it's only July still.
Well, the Epcot Food and Wine Festival starts on August 29th, just like Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. So you can get a twofer on that day if you want to be out, from morning till night. And you might. So here is the Disney Skyliner. This is testing. This is not supposed to open till September 29th. It will be interesting to see if there's any soft openings with it because it just feels like it's getting closer to done. The only thing here is the entrance still needs to be finished. That is especially the main thing. But we can also see Ratatouille is being built right across the way.
Yeah, a lot going on in this area, that's for sure. And here is the station. It's one of the prettier stations. I like the look of it. perfect fit for where it is. And here you can see some of the close-up views of some of the Disney Skyliner vehicles.
Well, it looks really nice on the other side because I've seen other people's pictures. I did not stick my hand in the bushes to get a picture of my own. I don't always do that, especially if there's so many security people around.
Yes,
I'm just like,
we follow the rules.
You know what? It's okay. I'll just get the bushes.
And look at all the added France detail that you're seeing here. Again, this is going to be the Ratatouille area, but there's just so much more to the France Pavilion than there ever was before.
Well, Ratatouille should open I think, from what I understand, Ratatouille is going to open next year. I have no idea if it's going to be spring or summer, but it sounds like that is when it's supposed to open. We also have what I believe are supposed to be restrooms over here. And also, I don't know if everybody knows, there's going to be a creperie also opening at probably around the same time as Ratatouille. And it's going to include a table service, dining option, and counter service for crepes. And it's going to be like the Brittany area of France, even like Mont Saint Michel, which is not in Brittany, but it's really close to Brittany. You see crepes everywhere there. So I'm very much looking forward to that.
Very much looking forward to that. We haven't mentioned that in previous shows, so that's very exciting. And this is some footage that Disney shared with us. It is some drone footage of the Disney Skyliner and nice views, very nice aerial views.
You know what? I'm looking forward to... I don't know what I'm going to think about the Skyliner, but I'm looking forward to trying it. And it'll be interesting to see also, with all those characters on many of them, can I see out, past the characters?
I suspect it'll be just like when we recently rode the monorail, the Toy Story 4 monorail, and it was not the easiest. Now, those side windows look like they'll be just fine, but the windows here will have those colored dot effect, so it'll be probably not the best for photography.
We just felt like we were being watched by those scary ventriloquist dolls from Toy Story 4 the last time we rode the Toy Story monorail, but it was a great day for it.
So now we're going to move on from the Disney Skyliner over to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Big changes coming for 2019.
Well, there's actually quite a few changes, and we'll be there for the first two, and that is in a few weeks from now. But two of the big changes are Mickey's Not So Spooky Spectacular will replace HalloWishes. So it's going to be more like... what is a new Happily Ever After, as far as you'll have projections and lighting and, the fireworks. But and Jack Skellington's going to be hosting it. And then you have all the characters, Mickey and Minnie. It should be really interesting and really fun. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, it's long overdue. The last time they changed the fireworks, I believe, was around 2005, because previous to that, they used to have the witch. Remember when the witch would go down the wire and she would be actually on the broom? It was actually really cool. So I think it's time. I definitely think it's time for a new show.
Well, every time we see Happy HalloWishes, it's like, oh, those... once you have Happily Ever After and some of the other projections, you're waiting for something a little bit more advanced, and now we're going to have that.
And just yesterday for us, we found out about some new additions to the Mickey's Boo to You Halloween Parade.
And usually there aren't big additions to it. Usually there's, little bits of additions that add up to a lot over like a 10-year period.
Something like we would notice, but most would not even know there's anything different about it.
Well, you might have Ralph and Vanellope come, but here you have a whole big parade unit. And they consider this a Tomorrowland unit, and I've never heard them say that each unit is like, okay, this is Frontierland, this is Adventureland, but now they're kind of specifying that. So this is considered the Tomorrowland unit, and you have Mr. and Mrs. Incredible, you have Edna Mode, you have, now this little Toy Story alien saucer is either from Paint the Night, or it's from Pixar Play Parade.
Right.
We're not
yes.
sure which.
But we just looked at both of those, and it looks very similar. I would put my money on the Play Parade.
And that's possible. And then you also have Buzz Lightyear up there on the rocks. So this will be very interesting because it's so new. And then also there's supposed to be the Spectral Bride with the Haunted Mansion scene.
Oh, that'll be very good.
And then also Mickey and Minnie will have new costumes at the start of the parade. So, there's quite a lot.
In a way, I wish that we hadn't been told this. It would have been nice to just be watching the Boo to You parade and seeing these new additions and been surprised.
There's it's quite a bit, and you can even see like Buzz Lightyear looking costumes. So we'll see. boo to you, and here's a Tomorrowland.
Boo
We'll see
to
what
you.
happens.
Yeah, there'll probably be a different music. I'm sure there'll be a different music suite for that one little bit area.
Well, of course, because it's, it'll probably sound like when you're listening to Paint the Night or something, you'll probably have that Incredibles type of theme. And I could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking.
In addition to all this, there'll be the 3 ride overlays that we had last year.
That's Pirates of the Caribbean, and then Space Mountain, and the Mad Tea Party.
And speaking of Space Mountain, I just had a chance to do that in the complete darkness during the Disney Villains After Hours, and I really like it. It never feels faster than when it's in complete total darkness.
Well, I would like to do that. Maybe during the Halloween party I'll be able to do that. So that is another show.
Who is another
that?
show.
Do I say that?
Anyone can say it.
Thanks to our sponsors, our sponsor MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. We really appreciate them being with us for several years now. And definitely check them out. They have been in business for over 20 years. They have almost 100 agents, and they can help you with anywhere you want to go, but especially Disney, because that's what they specialized in that most, although also Royal Caribbean. So Disney and Royal Caribbean are what they specialize in.
And we'll have also a lot of excitement coming up for next week. It is Christmas in July. Tomorrow, the 25th. Today, as we record, it's Christmas Eve in July.
Yes, we have an event tomorrow to learn about Christmas at Walt Disney World. And there is actually quite a bit new, just like at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, there's going to be quite a bit new, especially at Disney's Animal Kingdom, for the Christmas, for the holidays.
Isn't it funny to be talking about Christmas and it's still in the heat of July?
No, because, right now we're talking about Halloween coming up in 3 weeks. And
That's
then,
true.
And then everything is just going to go on hyperspeed, and then Christmas will be here before you know it.
So we'll have lots more coming up next week. I'm not sure exactly where we're going. I know we're going to go see the Muppets. I'm looking forward to that on the big screen.
And I'm going to, hopefully we're doing Epcot again tomorrow, because
definitely.
Now I feel like I can do Epcot. So I just love going there.
So anyway, thanks again for listening. Have a great week, and we'll see you all next week.
Have a great week.